Module 8 Weed Specific Management Strategies, Weed Biology and Ecology, Life Cycles, Annual, Biennial, Perennial Reproductive Strategies, Seed, Vegetative Propagation, Rhizomes, Stolons, Tubers, Weed crop interactions and competitive mechanisms, Weed ecology in relation to crop systems, soil types, and environmental factors, Weed identification and classification, morphological identification of major weed species, taxonomic classification, grasses, sedges, broadleaf weeds, aquatic weeds, differentiating between crop plants and weeds at early stages, understanding weed adaptations to specific cropping systems, cultural weed control strategies, crop rotation to break weed life cycles, cover cropping to suppress weed emergence and growth, planting density and row spacing optimization, mulching and residue management to reduce seed germination and soil exposure, mechanical and physical control, hand weeding, hoeing, and tillage methods, flame weeding, soil solarization, and mowing, timing and frequency of mechanical interventions, integrating physical methods with cultural strategies for enhanced effectiveness, chemical weed control, herbicide classification, pre-emergence versus post-emergence, selective versus non-selective mode of action, photosynthesis inhibitors, amino acid synthesis inhibitors, growth regulators, formulation types and application methods, safe handling, calibration, and environmental considerations. Biological weed control, utilization of insects, pathogens, or competitive plants to suppress weeds. Introduction and monitoring of biocontrol agents. Advantages of integrating biocontrol with cultural and mechanical methods. Limitations and considerations for ecosystem balance. Integrated weed management, IWM. Combining cultural, mechanical, biological, and chemical strategies. Developing site-specific weed management plans. Economic thresholds and decision-making frameworks. Monitoring and evaluating the effectiveness of IWM programs. Monitoring and early detection. Scouting methods for early weed emergence. Mapping weed populations and understanding infestation patterns. Predictive models for weed growth based on environmental and crop conditions. Case studies and practical applications. Field-level applications in cereals, legumes, vegetables, and horticultural crops. Successful implementation of IWM strategies in commercial agriculture. Lessons learned on balancing crop productivity, cost, and environmental sustainability. Learning outcomes. By the end of Module 8, you will be able to identify major weed species and understand their biology, ecology, and competitive mechanisms. Implement advanced cultural, mechanical, biological, and chemical strategies for weed control. Design and apply integrated weed management, IWM, programs tailored to specific crops and ecosystems. Monitor weed populations and make threshold-based decisions for interventions. Apply herbicide resistance management principles to maintain long-term weed control effectiveness.